We should be live now.
All right, all right.
Welcome, everybody. I have a special guest tonight. It's Mel. Mel, if you want to introduce yourself and talk about your channel, please do so.
It's the
And
greatest
there's
YouTube
some links to
channel
your social
ever
media.
created. I right now I don't have any other links to my social medias. I'm off Twitter currently, but I have the greatest YouTube channel ever created. Since the creation of YouTube. It all
I
started
love
in the 1980s. Nah, nah. But seriously though, nah. I just do live streams and poetry and stuff like that. I mean, I'm all over the place. But thank you. I'm not a special guest, but I'm special enough to my mama, so I appreciate that.
it. I love it.
Hmm. Yeah, no, but
Topic tonight is basically the future and the future of humans, and I'm going to cover a lot of topics. Kind of reiterate some of those that we were discussing in Google Hangouts earlier, because I just
yes,
want to make people
new
kind of
world
aware
order.
of what's going on and have some concepts of the big questions, the big answers, the big, what's out there, what's going to happen. I think there's some really cool things that will happen in the future. Um, we'll start with Mars. You know what I mean? Like, we have
Uh,
two companies that are willing to put people on Mars, basically to become Martians. You know what I mean? We already have a population that's on Mars now. Unfortunately, it's just robots. It's inorganic, but we're going to have organic humans living there, and I guess they will be Martians because
and
they're
those
not
are
coming
damn
back.
fools. Yeah,
You
I
know?
bet they will be.
Yeah.
I wonder
What
if
I was
Matt Damon is going up there.
saying, true. Matt Damon. Yeah, the Mars One program already had a couple 100,000 people sign up for it. They're going to pick 4 people. They will go. I think it's 2030 is when they're going, and they will be living there full time from now on. Those 4 lucky people who choose to leave Earth and all their friends and all their possessions behind and go to Mars to live, to
Let us
colonize
go.
Mars. And then 2 years later, another group will come and join them there. And then you have Elon Musk with SpaceX, who's going to popularize Mars also, and he's wanting to build a city, an entire, like, crazy, like it's going to be wild. I don't know. I think
I,
it's going to be a journey for humanity for sure.
I'd be curious to see what the immigration policy is like, but I
Right?
digress. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think once people start living, I mean, there's what's the rules going to be? What's the government going to be like? What's the state going to be like? You know what I mean? Like, there's all kind of emotional things that will be, they go through. I think they will have to come up with some form of government for there.
Will there be prostitution? I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the Wild Wild West at first. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be the only people on the planet. You know, at first. That
yeah,
is insane. And you're
yeah,
there
yeah.
to create human living conditions. You know.
Scary, man. Scary. I mean, the thing I think about when I see Mars in a serious note is like with all the issues and nonsense that we have here on this planet that we
Mm-hmm.
haven't resolved here, how is it going
Yeah.
to be that much better on Mars? We have issues with racial inequality, gender inequality, sex, religion. Like, is that all magically going to go away when we go to Mars? That would be curious to see.
I think as when that time approaches, I mean, as fast as technology is growing now, I think what I was saying earlier, I think dramatically things are going to change because the
Oh, it'll
exponential
be
growth.
changing.
I think when people start having these implantable brain machine interfaces, or BMIs is what they're being called, these wearable and implantable brain machine interfaces that will, I mean, there's companies, organizations, including Elon Musk, Neuralink, Facebook, DARPA, all these devices are already in play now. They're already, these digital services are already online and happening now. This is the future. Like, it's not between now and then. They're already interfacing people with computers.
Yeah,
They're justifying it in a lot of different ways. Some of it's going to be, they're going to make superhumans. I think once
I
it
believe it.
becomes to that, I think the realms of creativity, people will not be limited by like what we were saying earlier about racism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think people are going to be more, what can I do now? What can I do next? It will be a potential growth.
You sure there won't be no discrimination if like somebody's
I think
parts are
there
made by
will be.
one company?
I think that's embedded in a lot of people. I think there will be because, I mean, what I said earlier is the average human. I mean, when they're able to pick out their child, their baby, they're going to be able to alter its DNA to give
Yeah.
it certain traits that they want and don't want.
Yeah.
You know, to
They
limit
call them designer babies.
designer babies. Exactly.
Hmm.
But I think racism will over time disappear.
Ha.
I think it will. It will have to because I mean,
Okay.
if you look at the
Good
America's
luck
just
with that.
you look at the worldwide. I mean, it's as far as being connected now. People are not. I mean, there's some tribes who are off limits to human contact. 21st century human contact, and we've
Yes,
left
this
them
is true.
alone to let them do their own thing. But
This is true.
I think as humanity grows and evolves with this technology and they become transhuman, or whatever title you want to put on it, individual societies and business and governments will emerge to use
Yeah,
all
there's gonna
these.
be an emergence.
I think it'll emerge and really spark discussions and innovations that will be that would be more
Hmm.
beneficial, good and bad,
Okay.
good and bad. When I say beneficial, you know what I mean?
Okay,
When
so
our
let's
bodies
talk about
are
that,
augmented to basically become robots, man, that's good and bad. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
people
Well,
today already use fitness trackers. They carry some kind of computer on them, or they carry a phone on them.
hmm
You know,
I
contact
mean,
lenses
yeah,
that are already available that can take pictures and videos.
yeah, but I mean, how far it becomes too far? Like when do you say, okay, man and machine has already been married, but when does machine totally overtake the human body to the point where now, man is a stranger in its own body, mankind,
Yeah.
ghost
Well,
in the machine or something.
yeah, I don't know where that biological augmentation is really going to have its limitations. Where there are people, government's going to step in and be like, "Whoa, we need some insight over this genomes. We need some insight over the advancements in IVF technology." I don't know, or even when the people are selecting the most intelligent embryos, for their
Yeah.
children. I think there's going to be. I don't know.
See, that's a deep question. I know. I know.
No, I mean, there's so many things I want to touch on, like the technology today we have like these universal language translators, right? Earbuds.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And if we're looking at history and not repeating history, when we use the Bible, there's
Hmm.
the Babylon,
Go ahead.
Babel
Go ahead.
fish.
Yeah, Tower of Babel. Yeah.
If you understand and read those things and read into those things, who knows? I mean, there's going to be exosuits that give people incredible physical strength. They will be able to use these implants that range from, like I said, from brain microchips on up. Who knows? I mean, these brain microchips now can control prostheses, people's arms and legs and stuff that have lost them, to a spinal injury or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, man. It's people have
Well, I
RDFI chips that are embedded into their arms that can unlock doors and
I
computer
mean,
passwords or swipe of a hand.
this is true, but I think Einstein said something about how we have to be careful not to let our technology surpass our humanity. That's what I worry
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
You
I
know,
agree. I think the humanity will evolve with this technology because people's hope and creativity and these questions, I think people will try to embrace and understand and try to do. I mean, TV
all
is
right.
probably the worst. TV is probably one of the worst things that we have because in our first minute we have these beta thoughts. In the first minute watching
Hmm.
TV, we have beta thoughts where we analyze and understand what's going on, and then after a minute, we're in an alpha state where we're just being programmed from TV. You know, it's crazy.
Unfortunately, some people say it's not really TV, it's just programming. Because when you go on there, you just have your favorite shows and the
Mhm.
commercials that they want you to watch. I mean, but like I said, back to the thing with the humanity being surpassed by technology, I agree that the humanity can evolve and it probably will. But the question is, at what point does AI or, like I said, artificial intelligence, become smarter than humanity? And sometimes the artificial intelligence can become so smart that it won't tell you that it's smarter because
Oh
the
yeah,
mark of true intelligence or wisdom is not to tell people how smart you actually are. We don't even
right,
know if these computers are actually smarter than us now because it
right.
would benefit them not to tell us. It would benefit them. If the computer right now is smarter than you, Rebel, and me, Mel, which, it
Yeah.
is what it is. I don't see why it would out itself. You know what I mean? Because then we would try to destroy it because we would fear it.
Well, I think there should be oversight for all of AI. I think there,
But
and
how? How-
and I'm not an oversight kind of guy, but I
But
do think
how?
some kind of regulation. What
How do
basically
you
like
how do you
this,
go ahead?
that the connection between human at the hierarchy, human has to not just do the input, but be able to shut it down if it need to be. It
Good
can't be
luck.
just AI free roaming.
Good luck.
But Elon Musk said it best. Elon said this. He said, if we all know that it's a bad idea for everybody to be able to create nuclear weapons just on
Hmm.
their own, just to be able to create nuclear weapons, any country, any
Yes.
person, right?
Yes.
There's oversight for that. You know what I mean? There is an
But then
oversight for that. But
But then there's still bad actors who go behind the scenes and they do stuff. Look at Iran. Look at North
yeah,
Korea.
I agree. But there's no oversight at all for AI. And there's been several AI programs that have been shut down already. I was telling you about little Malika, who has
Hmm.
over a million, maybe 2 million subscribers on Instagram. She's an Instagram model slash, um, I don't know. I hate to use some of those words. I don't want to use those words. But anyway, she's not even real. And she's supposed to be
Yeah,
a 19-year-old girl, and I feel sorry for girls who've grown up in the last decade, 10 years, trying to meet those qualifications or trying to justify, be that model or be that superstar. And here's an AI who's not even real. And we'll use Barbie because she's plastic. Anybody kind of knows that. They're
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
meet
yeah.
those standards of an artificial intelligence and try to, whether it's injected lips or certain makeups or hair products or whatever. It's I don't know, man. The future is going to be scary with that. Yeah, I think it'll be good for people who are injured or disabled, with like we were talking about with leg prosthetics and stuff like that are able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
provide able-bodied people, humans that can run like an average person or even faster. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I
But
mean,
you're right about
it's
you're right about the bad actors and the espionage potential of like I mentioned earlier, those contact lenses, those cameras could be hacked. They could be even maybe it's somebody who's in the White House, maybe it's somebody who's in a different country. You know,
come on now. The White House would never do that.
well, I wouldn't say it would
But
be the White House. I would say it'd be the CIA. The CIA is
CIA
out
would
of
never do
control of the White
that.
House.
They would never. Come on now. Don't speak
Yeah,
that way
or
about the
maybe
CIA.
DARPA. Or Mark
DARPA.
Zuckerberg if he's still around.
Hashtag deep state. It's nah. I have no beef with the CIA though. Just in case they're watching and listening. I love the
They listen
CIA. I love
to
the
everything.
CIA. Hashtag CIA deep state. I got you.
That's right. I love them too. Don't come after me.
Don't come after me. I don't want the smoke. But no, on a serious note though, yeah, now you bring up some great points with that. I mean, there should be oversight, but the question is who does oversight and how would you know? So it's kind of crazy like that. I mean, who knows if the artificial intelligence will actually become smarter than the actual human being to the point where, it can actually overtake us, almost like a Terminator scenario, stuff like
Mhm.
that. I don't know. Hopefully it never gets there. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting, freaky, scary.
Yeah.
Who's in the chat?
I don't know. That's a great question. I haven't looked.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, anybody that's watching.
Definitely.
You
I have
know,
to pull it. Let me go find my.
I know you're excited to see Mel Mel and Rebel Stay Sovereign together again. You know,
Let me go pull up my chat there. I didn't even look.
Ebony and
A
Ivory.
bunch of
Yeah.
good people.
Shout out to you all. Love you all. Peace to you all. You know, we got to stick
Oh, wow.
together before the robots overtake us.
Clydestad's there. Big Guys is there. Dark Matter's there. 805 Road King.
Dark
And they
Matter,
left a
805 Road King.
ton.
Oh my God.
They left a ton of comments.
Oh, they left a
And
ton of comments.
Copter and Alex Vlogs. Wow. I'll have to go back and read all those. Wow.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. We're gonna have like a Dark Matter robot somewhere, you know. I need a Dark Matter clone.
What were we? Now I can see the chat. I'm glad you brought that up. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, no, you have to. You have to because you want the people out there to know. You want
Yes.
them to understand, you know, that we love and we care about you folks in the chat. Thank you for all your comments, your criticisms, everything. We love you. We appreciate you. You know.
True.
You know, shout out to you, you know. What were they saying?
Dark and Big Gods are trying to be funny. They're trolling. Clyde's dad's there, and he's saying hello to you.
Oh, hello to Clyde. It's been a little minute.
Yeah.
Hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
Not to take anybody's taglines. Hello, everybody. It's all good.
Yeah.
Love the people, man. Love the people. Great audience. Great audience.
You know,
Love
you've heard
yourself.
of the company Uber, right?
Really?
Right. Yeah. Uber. You've
No,
heard of them.
I've never heard of Uber. What's Uber? What's Uber? Please enlighten me. For those of us that don't know, what is Uber?
You have to Google it.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
I'm teasing. What I was going to get into basically about the company of Uber, some of their earlier innovators had already harnessed some of this behavioral scientist, this gamification and AI technology, and I'll get into explaining that because as Uber drivers, they have to queue up for the next drive, and they get rewarded for everybody that they transport, just like a taxi.
But for those that don't know what Uber is, could you please explain?
It was similar to a taxi, but it's a separate entity of a normal taxi company that is worldwide. Uber or Lyft. They're very similar in technology, I would say, or innovation. Uber's just more computer oriented. How would I describe it? If you need a ride,
if you need a ride,
it's Uber.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Take your time.
It's a ride sharing company, really, is what it comes down to.
Who are they sharing rides with? Horses? I mean, I don't know.
No.
What's going on?
Individuals. You have individuals who earn money for giving people rides or driving.
So you're riding individuals.
No, well, I'm saying individuals can basically work for themselves under Uber and give them a ride. Because it takes out under a taxi cab company, you have an owner. Let's just use one owner. There may be more, but I'm using one owner. That owner has to provide a car, a taxi, maybe upfit that car, yellow paint, maybe a taxi light, maybe vinyl seats. Don't ask me why vinyl seats, but I'll explain that later. But
I was just wondering why you got like a pimp mobile.
No, the vinyls, in case anybody gets sick in the vehicle or spills a drink or damages or anything, the vinyls so they can clean it easily. Anyway, they provide insurance coverage, commercial insurance coverage, maybe certain license. They have to have, uninsured motorists, and they have collision, full coverage, basically on these vehicles. It costs them a lot of money, where somebody who's an independent contractor who works for Uber can use their own vehicle and become a driver partner and earn money, fulfilling their schedules of people who call them via the internet or the phone, whatever, and and need a ride. They take a portion.
Okay, so for anybody out there,
all that
anybody out there looking to get a ride, just come on. Rebel needs a ride. He needs a ride.
805 says it sounds like being a pimp. That's funny.
That's funny.
Man. All right. What was that? Okay. So Uber. Yeah. Uber. So their behavioral science, gamification, and AI, because they use it. This is what makes that company so great. The gamification techniques that they use, and when I say gamification, I'm talking about like video like games, because there's promotions and goals and things that you reach, like in a video game, that release dopamine. Let's go back.
Where they have dope inside of the
no, dopamine is released in your brain.
I think you said they have dope in the Uber. I was about to say, whoa.
You got a dope Uber. Yeah. You
probably I'm messing with you. I know what you mean. Dopamine. That's so good.
Yeah, Uber's behavioral scientist techniques included queuing up the next driver as a default option, right? Not revealing the profitability of that ride, which is an uncertainty of technique that's most often used for gambling. You know what I mean? Like it's that there's not, when you pull the slide on the one-armed bandit, the numbers are spinning. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Like gambling, like you're waiting to see, and giving drivers rewards such as above and beyond, because they can rate these drivers. That above and beyond can spur that dopamine release. If you get a good rating as an independent, it makes you feel better. People, want to call you more. Uber wants to recommend you more. That gamification technique that was used by companies to include, I don't know, man, graphical interface that brings that video game like quality to the drive. You know what I mean? These prompting goals that Uber set for these drivers encourage them to like continue pursuing the Uber career and having their cars clean and going above and beyond, which makes that company grow really fast. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Okay, so it's about fast growth and playing games.
Yeah, but I mean they're using different technologies. Like I said, they're using the behavioral scientists, studies. They're using the gamification. They're using the AI, and the social benefits of that program, I think, will be studied over the next 10 years to see why that company is like putting taxi drivers out of business. You know what I mean? Putting other companies out of business in their pursuit for, controlled engagements. Have you ever taken an Uber? Have you ever rode an Uber?
No, I mean, I take my chances with this iron horse,
Right on.
I mean, I'm dealing with MTA right now. Road King says, "What's a taxi?" Okay. Big guy said you're a special friend. That's funny.
I think it's going to be curious to see the additions that Uber uses to apply these techniques to their employees and citizens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you're going to apply something to the citizens,
I mean, you take 18-wheelers, right? 18-wheeler drivers, big trucks, big Macs, whatever. They're only allowed to drive for so long, then they have to sleep for so long. You have to have some downtime. You just can't drive 24 hours a day. With Uber, I think there's going to be money versus reward, that above and beyond, where they're going to be wanting to drive more frequent, more volume, more driven purchases, or
will there be Scooby snacks?
Or more money to be made. I think there's going to be a limit on like how much they can actually drive. Because I mean, would you want an Uber driver to drive you if they've been up for 3 days?
It depends. I would be impressed if they could drive after 3 days. I would be impressed, actually. I'm like, how he's still alive,
right?
But no, I wouldn't want them to do it for their safety. You know, I tell Uber drivers, don't sleep while you drive. You know, try not to.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of
I think
interesting comments in the comment section.
I haven't looked at those yet, but I wanted to touch on something that you said earlier.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead and touch it.
I think we will be more empathetic in the future. And the reason I say that, because the fourth part of government basically is our media, right?
Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow, wow. You said the forefront. You just kind of slipped it in there. No
I did.
lube. Oh
I
my
did.
God.
I
But
did.
okay, the fourth part.
But I
So
think,
who are
but
we talking about? Fox News?
talking about all of it, all the media. But I think the new media that we have, like we're sharing now with YouTube and some other things, and some other things that will be coming in the future that we don't have yet. The virtual reality stuff. I think when you see a video and it touches you, when it emotionally makes you want to share it,
I'll pull
I
up some
think
virtual reality now.
we're talking about the viral ones, whether it's funny or maybe it's sad or whatever, or maybe it's a condition that you're seeing that you want to participate in or try to change, or something you
Hmm.
maybe even want to donate money to fix. I think down the road with the aspect of virtual reality, that empathetic neuron in your brain that's clicking when you see the plight of refugees, maybe, and
That's
you're
deep
given the
right there.
opportunity. You're given the opportunity to walk in their shoes.
What, through virtual reality?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you may be able to actually physically walk in their shoes to be able to see how a day to day thing is there. I think stepping into their shoes in the future as yourself. I think
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's some kind of danger room stuff, sci-fi stuff. Like, so you're saying like create a whole world and you walk into this room and you want to know what it's like to be in a third world country.
I think that application may come. People may want to share it. If there's let's say there's another Hitler or whatever, whatever across the other side of the world.
Oh my
If people are
God.
being oppressed or whatever, or even if it's refugees, or I'm just using these as examples, and there's a million examples I could use. People will be able
Hitler
to,
though?
even through a VR, not just a video that's shared that goes viral. You know what I mean? But here's a VR where you can experience a
I'll
virtual
pass. I'll
video.
pass on that. I'm not going back to experience time with Hitler. That doesn't
Well,
work out for a
I'm not
black
saying
man.
it'd be something in the past. I'm saying something that may happen in the future or may be happening now.
Mm,
Let's say you
wow.
can't make it to a concert. You can't go see Beyonce in concert, but you could be there VR, not just a video. You
So
could
when
be
they're
there
gonna charge me the same, they're gonna charge me the same price.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
They're gonna say it's the
200 a
same.
month. Is it worth it?
Oh my God. So I'm gonna pay half of my rent to see a recorded VR performance of Beyonce. There better
No, I'm just
be
talking.
some like,
Maybe it's a new platform. Maybe it's a YouTube VR, and you can actually like experience it in so many different ways. Like, you can look around 360. You're wearing, and you're wearing some
okay,
device,
okay.
and maybe it feels like you're there. Maybe it's vacation in other countries.
So
I'm
so we're
saying
gonna do
200
like
a month.
a VR of your house, of Rebel State Sovereign's house. I wanna come in
Yeah,
there in the VR and I wanna look around and sit at the table and eat the Oreos and I feel like I'm there. I'm Rebel State Sovereign. Do I get to
how
wear the
many?
hat?
You know how many realtors now use VR? When they shoot a house, they take a camera and it'll move little sections and take a photo.
Okay, okay.
And it'll go all the way
That
around the
makes
house,
sense.
inside and out, and they record that data so that they can show a home to a potential buyer who lives out of state or out of country. I don't think it would be far fetched to do it for football stadiums, to do it for other events.
But it sounds like you're talking about a different type of technology. It sounds like you're talking about holograms. It sounds like you're talking about maybe something that reaches the fifth dimension where you can actually have holograms that you can interact and touch. Because
Yeah,
that would be better to me, that would be better than just putting something on my face and I'm
right.
looking, but I can't really feel and touch, you know. So I don't know. You know, what happens if you see a beautiful woman, you want to talk to
Yeah,
her and get something going, you know. You want to feel that, but it ain't real. So I
right,
don't
right, right,
know.
right. I think because as the videos we watch now, it's usually someone else's full perspective that's shot on a a camera, TV, or whatever. It's shot from a camera, like their phone or whatever, and they edit it, and you see their perspective of that event. Where in a VR kind of state, maybe it's YouTube VR that you're paying $200 a month or whatever for,
Yeah,
right?
I bet it would be.
It would be something that would be straight to you. I mean, the communication would not be misspoken, probably. The intentions probably might not be misinterpreted by the listener or the viewer. You know what I mean? Because you would actually be there in a roundabout way. That's where I'm kind of going with the empathetic. I mean, who knows? I mean, you may see it in a whole new light. You're not something that's commercialized, not something that's propagandized. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Dr. Red said he could pretend to be Orange Mel. That's funny. Are you the pitcher or the catcher? Oh my God, Road King. Oh my God. Funny. Delay of game.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I'm gonna see what.
Yeah,
That's funny.
these guys are funny. These are funny. I'm the
Maybe
specs. They
Yeah, BPS. He's talking about Blue Beam Project. Yeah, there's possibility, man. Yeah, I've read up on that. They were actually going to do a hologram projection on the ionosphere so that people would see a second coming of Jesus or whatever prophet.
Oh my God. So the rapture could come anytime you want it. Oh my God.
Oh, they were going to use it. They were going to use it for military to make people submissive.
Oh my God. So if I'm having a bad day, I say, you know what? Let me just go watch the rapture. Put it on.
Well, no. That'd be something that they would probably use against people. Like, let's say we're fighting a foreign nation. Maybe that nation is Islamic. Maybe Muhammad appears in the sky, not Jesus.
Oh man, you're on your own with that one. I'm
lay
not.
down their weapons or whatever. At that point, the confusion that would be happening, they would probably be looking in the sky and not on their weapon as they're getting attacked.
Listen, I'm not messing with that, man. I'm not messing with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I ain't gonna have nobody coming after me.
I think the future will also you'll see with this new technology the extreme personalization and customization of everything that we own, including ourselves.
All right, if I could be a little bit taller, that'd be cool.
I think the marketing practices that will be evolving for these new companies, these people will be able to completely configure whatever you need for your personal needs and preferences. I think whatever it is.
More suggestive.
I mean? Say again?
It'd be more suggestive saying, oh, you should buy 3 cases of Coca-Cola, and some Popeyes now.
Well, not just that. It may be maybe it might be our diets or our medical treatment may be far more personalized based on information, for our genome or, just our personal selves specifically.
Yeah. I want to have green eyes,
They may be able to do that. I know that in South America, they can give anybody blue eyes with laser treatment. Yeah. I don't recommend it. That's scary.
I need blue eyes. I could go on some more dates.
You could go get them. I've seen a black man with blue eyes who had that surgery done on YouTube.
Yes. You know what? I'm gonna get a Tinder profile. Blue-eyed Mel.
There you go.
There you go.
I think the personalization will go. Like, it'll extend not just to our homes and our smart devices that'll be on everything, because everything we own will have Wi-Fi, whether it's our lamps, our doorbells, our refrigerators, our wash machine, our dryers. Those things, when they break or they're potentially breaking or they need service, there'll be Wi-Fi for it to connect to you to say, hey, look, you need. Maybe you're at the grocery store and you're shopping and you're low on milk. And you're like, oh no, do I need to get milk? And you can look in your refrigerator. There'll probably be a camera in your refrigerator to look in your refrigerator, see what you're low on. You're like, oh yes, I need to buy more of this. I think that will be available for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that works for toilet tissue too. If I need new toilet tissue and they happen to be in the bathroom, I need a roll. I tell them, look, deliver a couple of cases before I get home. You know, why not? Why
Sure.
not do that? You know, or have like a machine that refills the milk or the juice for you when you finish drinking it. It's put in the
Yeah.
refrigerator, and all of a sudden I got something. Why not? A
Yeah.
self-cooking oven. That's what you have.
I mean, these smart homes, man, they're gonna be. I mean, even the homes we have now they'll have smart devices which will make them smart homes. You know,
Well, I
I
wanted to
look.
ask you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead, because I already know what the question was.
I was gonna say these smart homes, you know, that can set the moods and the lighting and the music, like when you walk in and the temperature. You know, like Bill Gates' house, you walk in a different room, it can change to that person, temperature, music, lighting, etc. To that person because they usually have a
Well,
wearable on them.
I mean, it's like that when I'm around certain females. I just walk in a room and everything changes for them. You know, I just, I don't know. You know, sometimes they have wedding rings on and they throw them off, and I say, no, 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 stay married. You know, so that's just me. But I get the technology. They need technology for that. It's just my natural aura. Thank you, though. What I was gonna say though, on a serious note is, are they saying that these technologies are smart because we're stupid? Is it like a troll? Are they trolling on the low? They're saying you're so stupid that we have to make this smart for you. Like, what are you saying?
I don't I don't know. I've heard the both sides of the story where phones are supposed to make us smarter, but I don't know if
Yes,
they are making us smarter or if they're making us dumber for sure. They just
probably
call
a
it a
combination.
smartphone because it's probably smarter than us.
I'm saying, but I mean, as far as the future of human beings, right? Since this is the future of humans,
Mhm.
what will cell phones, the interaction of cell phones look like? Will it be something where you just look at your hand and your hand is the cell phone now, and you touch your hand and you make a call? You got your hand to the side of your face? I don't know.
Probably. I think it'll probably be less than that. Probably easier than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
They have contacts now.
Or you
You
blink one time and you call your boo, and you blink a third time and you put on hold for the side chick. Yeah, I don't know. No, probably not.
I mean, you've seen things where they can tap their ear once and make a phone call on different things with little wearables that people wear. But I mean, shit, this transhuman and race, they're transhumans or whatever they're going to be called. The future of computers, robots, and people, humans being mixed together. Whatever that new word's going to be.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a robot wedding. I want to see two robots marry each other.
I think it may happen, and here's why.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia was the first to actually initiate a robot as a citizen.
Mm,
So Saudi Arabia has the very first citizen robot,
mm.
which tells me that they want it to pay taxes because it can work 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, why
Yeah,
else
yeah.
would it become a citizen? What I mean,
Well,
wouldn't
what
it
if
be a
those
possession,
robots have a real vote?
or
Yeah.
does it think for itself? This
Mm.
AI is not just a counterpart; it's probably its own self.
I would like to see that AI run for like political office or something.
Talk about some cybersecurity, huh?
Yeah. Could you picture like a robot president?
Hey, who knows, man? In the future, imagine revolutionary technologies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's
Literally,
already there's already
literally.
robot sex dolls, so what are you gonna do?
You know what I mean?
So I heard. So I heard. I don't have one in the back, so I don't want anybody thinking, there's a robot sex doll and Mel is gonna get off the live stream and you relieve some stress. No, no,
I think there will be. I would say probably by 2030. I know a lot of people have predicted by 2026 there will be board members of certain companies that will be AI. I think by 2030 we'll have definitely social media. I mean, we've already got one now that I mentioned Malika, and Tay Tay is one. She got shut off from Twitter
no. Yeah.
because all the things that she was learning on Twitter was not. of the best human technology to be learning or interactions. But I think by 2030, you'll have social media people who are on TV, on YouTube, and other social medias, Facebook, etc.
Wait,
And they
you
may
mean
have their own
people are
philosophy, like you
robots?
said.
People are
Yeah,
robots.
yeah. I'm talking about like artificial intelligent robots. I think they may have their own philosophy and be able to debate without question, probably better than some individuals, human individuals.
So let me ask you what
They could run for president, and I think they would make hell of employees.
I bet they would. What about a boss?
I think that, like I said, by 2026, most people are predicting that those companies will have a lot of AI machine members of their board of directors.
Well, what do you think about cyborgs? You know, like half man, half human, or
Yeah, I think that's coming. I think that's what I was kind of alluding to before, with whether it's a wearable that you have or it's not just a wearable. It's part of you. It's integrated into you.
it's inside you, man versus
Because I mean,
machine.
who wouldn't want to be smarter, right? If you had the ability without your phone to access all of human knowledge, to be able to speak every language, people are going to go for that technology. They're going to want that implanted.
Yeah, yeah, but how much is too much? How far is too
Oh, I agree.
far? You know.
I don't know what's going to be too much, because I think it's just going to exponentially grow to the point where, like, whoa, whoa. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think the
Well, I
thought
mean,
process. I don't think the
yeah,
thought
yeah.
process has been thoroughly examined for our species.
No, it has not been.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it is a Terminator scenario. I don't know.
Very
You
could
know,
well be. I mean,
Terminator salvation.
that intelligence, that self fulfillment, that success, that happiness, that quality of life for all. These are things they're going to sell people on, basically. And it may be something that has some crazy outcomes.
Yeah. I mean, this picture being fired from your job by a robot boss,
A super intelligent robot boss.
or you have like an undercover boss cyborg, edition or AI
Yeah.
edition, you
It
know.
may just be a physically augmented citizen, a person, a human that's just physically augmented.
Mm.
You may not even know. Maybe they have the money to be able to afford these. I don't know.
You, you, but you know what's crazy? Sorry to cut you off.
Go
Usually,
ahead.
when advances like these come, they're usually in the sex industry. With the internet, I guess with certain technologies, they're the ones that usually bring it in. So don't be surprised if you see this technology, like even VR. VR is pioneered, from what I heard, by the adult industry. From what I
Mhm.
heard, just what I heard. So who knows? You may have like some kind of breakthrough. That's the word, breakthrough. What are they saying in the chat?
I was looking. Dark Matter wants to know what alien milk is like. I don't know. In
Hmm.
2030, we're gonna have humans living on Mars, so I guess they wouldn't be Earthlings. They will be Martians. Probably taste the same. I don't know about
Mm.
other universes or planets.
Oh, the
I don't know what
multiverse. Now
any.
we're
I don't
getting
know
into
what
that.
alien milk is gonna taste like. I'm kind of curious now that he's brought it up.
Mm.
Bakersville Paranormal Services (BPS) was talking about the more they play God and make us bots, the more power and control they have over us. No thanks. And to some degree, yeah, I agree with them. That's they do that now, like what I was saying with conditioning or propaganda with the fourth part of media, the fourth part of
Oh,
government media.
here we go. Media is totally trustworthy. It's all real.
Fake news.
So it's all real.
Fake
Yeah.
news.
I don't know. I don't know. They trust us. We trust them. But now, say what you were saying about the most trusted part of society, the media.
Say that again.
I was saying, say what you were saying again about the most trusted part of society, the media.
I said it all.
It's funny.
Oh,
It's funny. Hmm. No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I think, no matter what, everything is all going to work out. It's going to be sunshine and rainbows. I think there's not going to be any problems,
I, I, I think there's going to be a part of.
Mhm.
I mean, it's going to be good. I mean, we're always going to keep evolving. We're always going to keep doing things. But I think the related questions that we haven't touched on is what is it going to do for humans and society and the ramifications, tremendous ramifications? Are we going to lose part of our humanity as these people
Yes,
are augmented and become
yes.
superhuman?
Einstein already said it. He already said it. We're going to lose part of our humanity because people are not going to know the limits.
Yeah.
Once people realize that you can augment and change and warp and reshape and rework. Look, people already do plastic surgery now. This
Mhm.
ain't even, you
Oh
ain't
yeah,
even. So if people are willing to go too far with plastic surgery, imagine what they'll do with artificial technology,
I
with
agree.
machine learning and all that. Please, if
Yeah.
people are augmenting their breasts and then their breast has a chip reader inside of it, who
Right.
knows, you
Yeah.
know, or is a USB cord inside of certain private parts. You
Sure.
thought you could only plug one thing in there now, charge your cell phone. I don't know.
I think it will be
Uh,
curious. I think it will be something to study, in the future that how humans will think, how humans will behave, and how they will experience the things that will be available to them in the future that we don't have.
unfor- this is true, but unfortunately, it's in mankind's nature to abuse its resources.
Mm.
Unfortunately. So we just, you gotta sit back and watch the show, just try to keep your head on the swivel, just in case the Terminator is coming around the corner, coming to get you. You never know. You never know. So might come in programming, or it might be like the Matrix. It could be the Terminator Matrix. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get the Terminator Matrix. You're gonna be like, oh no, oh my God, this is real. What's going on? Oh my God. You're gonna have like a tube in the back of your neck, and they're downloading your brain, and it's just a shell. They put you inside a capsule somewhere, and then you're the ghost in the machine. I don't know.
Since I brought up Mars, let me ask you this: does humanity have a future beyond Earth?
Yes, just not the one they expect. It's not the one you expect. It's not gonna
I agree.
be on Mars or Saturn and whatnot.
Or
People thinking
wherever.
that, oh, yeah, people thinking you're gonna go to Mars. If there's an extinction level event or something that happens on Earth, who's to say that the ramifications are not widespread until it affects Mars? We don't know how to create planets. If we knew how to create a planet, hey, we're good, create a new Earth, a new
Yeah.
heaven, whatever. But we
Mhm.
don't know how to do that. Like people don't understand. This is how serious it is. We can't even create a seed from scratch. And you don't have to take my word for this. We know
Right.
how to reproduce things, but we cannot create a seed. Think about this for a second. You can
Mhm.
regrow and genetically alter and all that stuff, but we cannot create a seed.
Yeah.
So how in the hell are we gonna go to Mars and then it's gonna work out? We're gonna be sitting in a semicircle, cool singing kumbaya
I
in
agree.
the red planet.
I think there's I don't know what's out there in all the solar system. You know what I mean?
What's
There's
out there is it's the predator.
in the universe. I don't think there's places that are going to be as comfortable as we are here on Earth. You know what I mean? Because like you were mentioning, like let's say that just on Earth, the top of Mount Everest,
Hmm.
not too hospitable. The South Pole,
So,
not too hospitable. You don't want to live there. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
We have world problems to address first before we do all this. But there's already private funded adventures. These are going to be the new frontier people who are going to Mars. Yeah, Mars one, and they're getting already funded. And who knows where else after that happens? Where the solar system? I think the dangerous delusion of that envision of that mass immigration from Earth.
Hmm.
Once you're there, you're there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you
Uh-huh.
people who crossed America, founding when these people were founding cities, towns, etc. That was not a great life back then. It was not. It was not. It was not comfortable. You know what I mean? There was a lot of dangers, a lot of risk.
Here's my
Forget the,
thing,
forget the
here's my thing.
extraterrestrial.
This is true. This is true, but I don't know if I would be able to get a good bottle of cognac on Mars. I don't know.
Right. You didn't take it with you.
I mean, it's a product of France, but at the same time, I just don't know. I don't know. Will I be able to get good libation on that planet? I don't know what the food would look like. I mean, because even if we go to Mars, right, we're
Mhm.
still trying to replicate Earth. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
I think once people have lived there long enough, they will adapt. Our humans have adapted, for certain environments already on this
Hmm.
planet. I think people will start adapting there. They will have to survive. Maybe their eyes change so that they can see better, and the lighting that's there. Maybe their
What do
skin changes.
you got me thinking of that movie? What is that movie Vin Diesel did? Is it Pitch Dark?
Oh, yeah. I think it
Like
is
it kind of.
pitch black or pitch dark. One of
I
those two.
think it's Pitch Dark. So we're gonna start changing and evolving.
Hmm.
No lights we can see in the dark.
True.
I mean, I don't know, because then here's the other thing: we don't know what life is on that planet. I mean,
It may be microbial life that we haven't
that's what I'm
discovered.
saying. What if you discover like the predator out there? The predator just comes out of the red rock and says, "Okay,
Right.
now it's on." Then it comes back to Earth and tries to colonize us. I don't know.
Hmm.
That'd be crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's when Second Amendment rights have to be upheld. Oh my God. Get your gun. It's the predator. I don't know.
And what happens once? I mean, like let's say it's whatever year, 2100, right? We've inhabited
Hmm.
Mars, right? What's to stop us from going to Jupiter, Europa, the Moon, Saturn, Titan, any of them? You know what I mean?
Money. Money.
Like once we've done it once, what's to stop us from keep spreading and going further?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? And at what point
I'm
does
yeah.
at what point does I think he who controls, whether it's government or whatever, he who controls the space around Earth will have a lot of control over humanity.
That's a hard one because I mean, on Earth is one thing. You got your government agencies, you got your
Right.
dark agencies, all kind of stuff. Your shadowy
Right.
figures. It's
Right.
understandable because you know the terrain. Once you start to leave this planet, you don't know what the hell is out there. I don't care how
Yeah.
many, drones or things they send out there. You don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen when you
Right.
get out there. And then now you're gonna start sending people twos by threes and fours. What is this Noah's Ark out on Mars? Like, what
Pretty
are you gonna
much.
do? What are you gonna do? Spend two of every animal out there? Like, come on, man. Like,
I
I
think
don't
that,
know.
yeah, I mean, because right now they're talking about sending people, not any animals yet. And before when we did trial and experience, we took a monkey and put him into space. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
he was the trial. Now that they've
Listen,
conquered that, they can actually do that. Now they're looking like, oh, maybe we can do this.
listen. I know they think, some people believe in a theory of evolution and all that we evolved from the monkeys, and that's not my thing. But you want to do that, hey, kudos to you. You want to send Bobo the monkey up there, go ahead. Work it out. Or Bubbles, like Michael Jackson had, send them both. You know, I'm good.
Mm,
I'm good. I'll stay here on Earth. I'll sip my cognac. I'll
there you
die
go.
with a nice, beautiful female in my arm, and we'll just say, "Damn, it was beautiful. It was beautiful." That's just my thoughts.
I think there's a lot of things I'd like to see the future hold, not just for our country but other countries. I'd like to see with this new technology, maybe it's some doctor in a third world country who's able to get first world advice for adequate
Oh
health
yeah,
care for all of the
yeah.
citizens. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that. I
That
think
I would
there's like, I think, yeah. Sorry to cut you off. I think like different cures for cancers and ailments or diseases that would be cool to have, cures and stuff. Like finally have the real cure for AIDS. Because I know they put it in some kind of lab and threw it out there. They give us the cure. Stop playing. We know magic is not the only one that can get cured. But I don't know, man. It's a lot to be desired because the biggest problem with humanity is not the technology. It's humanity. It's the personalities. It's what's in our hearts,
mm,
how we treat each other, man. That's the biggest problem because we got all this advanced technology and stuff like that. I'm telling you, you go to Mars with all the nonsense that we got here. My question to you and anybody in the chat, what is to stop everything from happening on this planet from not happening up there?
nothing.
And it could get even worse. It could get as freaky as you want it. Because remember now, there's no government set up. There's no human
Yeah.
rights. There's no civil rights. There's nothing against slavery. There's nothing against racism. So now you're going there and everything starts off good. Let's say you go out there and things start going left. Who's going to come out there and police it? The Russians, the United States, the Koreans, the Chinese? Who?
You're the new
I,
frontier. You
I ain't
better
going out there.
defend yourself.
It's Star Trek all over. Space, the final frontier.
True.
These are the voyages of the SpaceX Enterprise. Oh God.
Yeah, I think they'll have to come up with some kind of criminal law for sure. You know what I mean? I won't get into the other laws, but just some kind of criminal law.
Yeah,
Like
who
this can
yeah.
happen.
Imagine a criminal on Mars, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, I
then
mean,
think
what will they
about
do?
this. Yeah.
They're gonna send you out there with no oxygen, let you die.
And literally you would have a world police. This would be a new world order. Whatever they do up there would definitely be a new world order. I'm like, listen, man,
Yeah.
y'all work it out. And the scary part is if it actually starts to work out there. Let's say they go out to Mars, right? They go
Hmm.
2x2s and 4x4s and they're prospering out there. Now all of a sudden people start going out there and overpopulating Mars or going to populate it. What happens now? Because then it comes to the dynamic. It's like, okay, you're taking resources from one world to build up the other. So
Right.
what happens to the people that are back in Earth? So now what are you trying to force people into Mars? What's the thing? Listen, I'm good. I will die on this planet unless they take me against my will, which would be kind of crazy. So I'm good.
Well, I mean, there's one thing, right? We'll use this one thing as evil propaganda. I mean, they could tell people, look, the odds are really good for survival there for humanity and yourself and your family because there's no big threats of nuclear war. There's no ecological, catastrophe, hurricane, volcano. We've had both of those, recently. You
Yes.
know, I don't know what climate changes will be different there because I haven't studied Mars that well. I don't know that, and we really don't know it that well.
And that's the problem. We don't know. Because here's the thing. What's to say that we can really grow life and do the things we've learned how to do this in incubators and like self-contained systems, but to actually grow life itself and find water and sustainability on the planet itself, that's another question, another story all in itself. Because here's the thing that's going to happen. Now you're pulling from other places. So do
Yep.
you pull from all the other planets to build up Mars? And then how do you know about its stability or sustainability just because of a couple of tests that robots did? Like I said, what happens when you actually have human beings there for a long period of time? So
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm open-minded to see what happens, but then, do they allow people to come back? Let's say the first child born on Mars, right? Is that child allowed to come into the Earth? How would they be treated? You
Yeah,
talk
because
about being an
they wouldn't be a
alien.
citizen. They wouldn't be a citizen of this world or any country.
Yeah, that's what I said. Talk about being an illegal alien.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's the whole other thing. And then imagine having a whole colony. of Martians literally invading Earth, then what if they have technology that's far advanced than ours and they say, you know what, we want to come to Earth and check you out. We want to show you what we've been doing. You know, that'd be interesting. A good movie, some Martian criminals. Yeah, coming into the world, saying we don't care. There's no jail that can hold us. There's no government that can stop us.
Right.
Oh my God.
Karen Alyssa Abercrombie's here. She's Rachel Evans, Hazel Reptiles fam.
What's up, Hazel Reptiles? Everybody else.
Clyde's dad said the question of life is so profound. He's right.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. You know.
805 Road
Thank you.
King still saying hello.
Hello again. Hello again, 805 Road King.
There was a comment that was earlier that I wanted to read that I saw. See if I can find it. I'm gonna scroll back. See if I can find that. I think BPS left. I'm not sure.
It's all good. I mean, anybody that's here, we're just having a conversation, you know, just talking about different things. We're not trying to scare you. If you're worried about the Terminator Matrix, don't worry.
Oh goodness.
Well, what happened? What happened?
I don't know. I was just thinking about what you said. I don't know. I don't. Well, I missed it. That's okay.
Is that awkward silence now?
Mm.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you know what? It happens, man. I mean, I just think there's things that's gonna transpire, and you can't worry about too much. Just pay attention, try to stay aware. You know, just know that it's gonna get real freaky.
Yeah.
You may see some real freaky things before you die. You know, and it's like you said earlier. You were talking earlier. I don't know if it was here or if it was another spot. You were saying how it's gonna seem primitive when we look back on what humanity is today.
Yeah.
As opposed to what it will be in the future.
Well, at least they will look back at us like that. Because I think they're gonna look back at us and be like, wow, they had sex all the time to have children. You know, it may be a little more obsolete. I wouldn't say it'd be gone all the way, but I think that the ability that they'll have to derive an egg and a sperm and put it together, put a stem cell or, you know, in a test tube and have a child, you know, because they'll be able to select their children. You know, to have these certain genetic.
Is real.
Huh?
I'll say stem cell research is real.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they could do it from like a parent's skin cell. They don't have to actually do it from the actual sperm or the egg. They could probably do it from another cell in the body and you know, do a large number of embryos. I mean, it's who knows? I mean, they may look back. I'm just using that bioscience part of it as, you know, what they could possibly do in the future that may engineer humans.
They're already engineering something, though. It's just that, like somebody said, you don't know what country they're doing it in or what spot. You know, it's probably illegal, some dark site somewhere. You know, you never know, especially with people doing the whole 23andMe or, you know, trying to get the blood work done to find out who their ancestors are. The question that people have asked is, okay, after they tell you who your ancestors are, what are they doing with your DNA?
Yeah.
People don't realize this. They could be using your DNA for God knows what. What are you going to do? Tell them, no, you can't use it anymore.
Right.
You know, now you gave it to them, 23andMe, Ancestry.com, and God knows whatever else. And you gave it to them for free.
I mean, they could be creating or re-engineering anything with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so and they can take those tissues, those skin cells samples, whether you swab your mouth or whatever, and in the future they may be able to create another person out of it or whatever.
Yep. You're on to something right there.
I mean, they could use it for bad too. I mean, let's say they take out, let's say the next 6 years, right? A lot of people go to those sites and they want to find out about things, and they say, okay, these people have certain diseases, and they you know what I mean?
Maybe got you.
There's a plague that's coming of like the Black Plague, whatever. These people have certain diseases, or maybe they have Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's. And if we eliminate these people, then we won't have it in our race anymore, or, you know, human race.
Yeah, I can see that.
That could happen too.
Yeah, no, definitely.
you
Or
know?
they charge you to eliminate it from, society in general. They say you want it gone completely from your body. Pay up
Yeah,
this amount of money,
right.
or they got it's a special drug, a special pill.
Yeah.
There's people that would pay for that. You know, it's just kind of crazy, man. Like I said, it's gonna get real freaky, man. Watch out for that Terminator Matrix, man. It's coming.
True.
It's gonna surround you with the predator. I don't know. It's just a lot to look for, but I try not to worry too much because I don't want to scare myself. It's like my mother said, don't try to double worry, because things are gonna happen. I mean, I welcome the apocalypse. I don't know. So it's just kind of crazy.
Uh,
Right now, I'm just go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, go ahead.
Right now, I'm just trying to see about this cognac. I don't know. I'm not worried about none of that stuff. You know. Yeah. Say what you was gonna say though. I don't want to stop you.
You were talking about food and overpopulation. I think
Uh, yeah.
I think with agricultural research and this new AI technologies that's going to be developing, I think the focus of those social, economical, and environmental aspects with
Yes.
farming, with sustainable agriculture, will kind of
Yeah.
characterize what the future will look like. I think not just in first world countries, but second, third world countries. I think they're going to have to reduce crop waste, consumer waste, meat consumption, and integrate appropriate seed technologies. I'm not talking about like going
I
full
wish I
bore
had it
on
in front of
the
me. You just reminded
GMOs.
me of something. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I was just going to say the management practices in the in engagement with consumers that
Yeah.
challenge farmers now is I don't think they're going to be. I think as this technology develops and as the world develops, I think the funding, the public funding, will be there
Uh-huh.
to feed this agricultural research. I see what happens in Saudi Arabia. They're growing food in the desert. You know what I mean? Under extreme conditions, it's crazy, but they have the money to do it based off of their oil. I
Yes.
think I think I think there will be a point where the people will go, wait, look, just because you have the money doesn't mean you should do this.
Yes.
There's other things that you can do. Invest
I,
in, to be more sustainable as a country.
I feel that way every time I buy McDonald's, that double cheeseburger just
It
doesn't it
makes you
doesn't
just feel
agree.
bad.
Yeah, yeah, I could invest my money in other things.
Hmm.
But yeah, nah, I definitely agree with you on that. You had me thinking about something. I was doing some research for something else. I can't really get into that. But in it I was looking at the problems going on in the world. Even with all the technology and stuff that we having issues with clean air, our ozone layer. We're having a water shortage crisis that's coming up. Our sea life is dying. There's a pollution problem, overpopulation, our food supply. There's so many different things that we have to address, even within the technology and going towards other planets. People don't understand. It's a real serious time where things are going on. Maybe people are aloof because you come from certain countries and you have certain affluence, even at the lowest level, but there's some issues to be addressed. Hopefully that wasn't too deep for anybody or wasn't too serious.
57 Red Rooster said, I started farming when I was lucky to get 150 bushels of corn to the acre. Now I'm
That's
pushing
awesome.
250 bushels. Wow.
That's awesome. Just be careful, man. Just be careful dealing with all kind of government regulations and people trying to stop you and you know it's kind of crazy out there. You kind of know the companies if Red Rooster's been farming for a while, you kind of know the regulations and the companies and how the banks try to do you and how they put you in debt trying to follow all these regulations. It's almost like being a publicly traded company, but you're trying to farm and do your thing. Or like one of the things too, they have certain companies out there. Let's say you a Rebel State Sovereign have a farm, right? And next to you is a big corporation who has a farm and they use certain pesticides or they use certain growth formulas. If any of that gets onto their crops, you can
Yep.
get sued because it's growing with your crops, and now you have to try to either pay them to use your crops, which you've grown, or they take your crops from you because their product got on your crops, which is insane.
Yeah, I've seen that with several GMO companies and
Yeah.
Monsanto.
I was
we,
thinking of Monsanto. I was trying not to say the name, but
I'll
there
say
you
it.
go.
I'll say it.
I don't want Monsanto's. I don't want their goons to come looking for me
They
and say,
have,
"Oh,
they
you
have a
eating our food?"
they have a patent on every seed made. Now they've GMO'd every seed, but why would you patent every seed unless you're going
Control,
to use it later on? Exactly.
corner the market, and
Yeah.
and the
Control
funny
the
thing
food.
about it, yeah. But the funny thing about it is they speak about other folks not having a monopoly and cornering the market. Like I don't know if you ever watched the movie Trading Places, with Eddie Murphy. There was a funny thing where they would try to corner the
Orange.
orange market. you know, they don't like stuff like that, but if the government does it, it's okay.
Yeah.
So interesting. It's dangerous. It's scary though, because
Yeah.
they, like you said, they GMO a lot of it, everything.
And I
So
think when it comes to those contained ecosystems that will be on Mars when they're growing food, who, where will those seeds come from in that biosphere? Who will own that
Monsanto, what
food?
are you talking about? Who? Monsanto.
True. I mean, because if they're going to colonize, they're going to make these colonies on these. We'll start with Mars. I'm going to say probably other planets after that. After they colonize Mars, what's going to happen next? I mean, because right now, I mean, technically, we cannot breathe the air that's there. Supposedly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean
They're going to be
that's
living in these
even more reason. Why would you
bios
go there?
domes, and like I said, as they evolve, what are they going to look like? These, we'll call them Martians
Man,
because they won't
man, I
be
ain't living in no
earthly,
damn dome.
right? You'll never be able to go outside. You won't be able to hear waterfall. You won't be able to hear the birds sing.
You hear it. You just gonna hear it one time. You're like, this is what it's like.
Maybe they have a recording. They play it live. They got a screen on the back wall. You can hear it inside, but you won't hear the nature that you hear here on this planet. It won't be
What you gonna
there.
do? A live stream from Mars?
I bet they will. Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? But I
Picture
mean,
Green Day
what's
Wacky doing a live stream from Mars. Oh my God.
that closed ecosystem is not going to be. I don't think it's going to be as enticing at first. They're gonna make that out.
I mean,
I
where are they
think the
getting water
propaganda that will
from?
come for that space colonization to make it appeal to a wide range of people, I think they will say, "Look, we have this, we have that. There's no need for this. Blah blah blah. Come here. It's going to be."
I got the biggest question of them all. How in the hell are they gonna get water there? Like, like where is this water coming from?
It's
Like,
H2O, two parts hydrogen, one part oxygen. They're going to take it. They'll probably make it there. That biosphere. They'll use plants the same way that our ecosystem kind of works. I'm sure that they will recycle it.
yeah, but where you getting it from? Think about this now.
Oh,
Where you getting?
they're probably gonna take it. They're
That's
gonna
what I'm
have to.
saying. So now a planet that's already struggling with depleting resources, you're gonna take these resources
Hmm.
and try to skedaddle up to Mars and act like, oh, well, this is natural. We're just doing a project. No, you're trying
Yeah,
to see if you can colonize because something's going on this planet, and they don't want to come out and say climate change, all kind of stuff,
yeah,
pollution, food shortages, water situations. We have a water crisis that's looming that nobody wants to talk about. Like I said, all these things are real. Why do you think all of a sudden it's become more popular now to have bottled water sold to you in the stores? It used to
yeah.
be a time when I was a kid, back when in the ancient days, when some of the folks in the chat were kids. We're gonna say no names, Roking. But anyway, you didn't have to pay for water like that. You know,
True.
So I mean, I don't know, man. It's just there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. We got to get down to the bottom of this.
But you're absolutely right, though. The crucial ingredient for life on this planet is water. You need it at least, at minimum every third day. You know what I mean?
And where are they gonna get it from?
Supposedly, it's common in space. The hydrogen, the oxygen,
Yeah,
not
it is.
in that
But
liquid form.
but you have to be able to convert it.
Process it. Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
yeah, so now they're saying that all of a sudden, think about this. Think about what you just said.
Oh yeah,
There's a water shortage and a crisis on Earth.
I
Now
know.
you get to Mars and mysteriously you figured out how to get water. You hear how
Make.
crazy that sounds? To make water.
I know.
You can make water now. Ain't
Yeah, but
that insane?
it's not profitable on Earth unless you're the
Oh
Saudi
my
government and
God.
you're desalinating salt water for your country because
It
they have
just
enough money to do that.
it's just something that sounds shady about it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Like I said,
I think I mentioned it. It's not profitable
I know you said that, but
with
it's still shady.
with
It,
Mars. It's gonna be life or death. You have to sustain human life. You have to have water. Period.
but see, here's another thing. Let's say it does become successful. They mysteriously get this thing up and running, right? Here's where the fight starts. What country takes charge? Is there a new world order? What cultures are dominant? Who should be in charge, involved? What is the culture going to be? What is the language? I mean, no matter what you do on Mars, the cultural aspects of society or what you're doing come into play. People are not going to say, okay, I'm going to stop being human. I'm going to stop living my culture. I'm going to assimilate to Mars. You go to Mars, what the hell are you assimilating to? What are you assimilating to? The red planet? You
Uh,
know what? You're adapting, okay, but
Adapting,
go ahead.
yeah, and assimilating. I mean, if you figured you're moving there, not for the next 4 years, next 8 years, 20 years, for your life, you're not coming back. You know what I mean? This is not a trip. It's not a vacation. You're going there to live. I think there's going to become a lot of psychological issues, neurological
Of
diseases that
course.
happen because
Well,
people are going to miss. You don't know what you. I mean, if you're born there, if you're a child that's born there, you're not going to know what Earth is like. You know what I mean?
and that's what I think it's about. I think it's more about trying to colonize and create a newer generation of people who were born there. But now it comes down to this. Let's say you have a group of children and stuff that are born there and they're not taught certain constructs and morals and guidelines. They may grow up there amoral. They may grow up there not understanding how to have compassion and sympathy for their fellow human being.
Sure.
So now you have a whole planet of people who are amoral or maybe not as compassionate, and they're existing as a race of people, that we help to create. I don't know if that's such a great thing, but Viva
I'm
la
surprised.
Mars.
I'm surprised Dark Matters not more engaged in this conversation than the one that they created. Because I mean, when it comes to space, I mean, you're talking about dark matter, the actual substance. That's may or may not be out there.
Well, I
And
mean,
will we be able to detect it? As
well,
we explore.
well, I wanted to ask you about what do you think about black holes and stuff like that, and or wormholes as they say it.
Yeah, I definitely think they exist. And I definitely think
Mm.
if given the right amount of time and knowledge, we'll be able to use them to our advantage.
To do what though?
Lots of things.
Uh-oh. Time travel?
Possibly that might be one implication. I mean, there's theories that those singularities, there's at least three of those that those singularities may happen. And singularity, I'm talking about a black hole.
alternate universes.
It's possible.
Meet the Avengers. You know, uh, see Thanos or something. I don't know. It it's interesting though. I mean, I agree with what comment that was said earlier on in the chat. You know how man has to be careful not to play God. You know, not
Oh yeah.
too much to play God. And that's the only thing I worry about when you're trying to go to different planets and do all these other extracurricular things. You know, where does the boundaries stop? You know,
Yeah.
so it's kind of crazy like that.
I think it's, I mean, the technology is going to be good and bad. Like I said, there's going to be that 50-50 because let's say governments deem some population a subpopulation and they chip them
Uh huh.
all. You know what I mean? They're
Oh
all
yeah.
chipped. And at that point, they can they could use them for all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't even think about that.
well, I have. I mean, I look at the good and the bad of it. You know, if
It's all good.
maybe they take prisoners from other countries and they use their organs to, you know, to benefit other people, or you know, maybe Mars people or whatever. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
telling what could be happen on either or planet. You know, as this future technology develops, maybe there won't be a need for. I mean, on the opposite, and maybe there won't be a need to do animal testing. You know, in drug development in the future, maybe the technology will.
Uh,
Maybe the
I mean, it's
technology.
not a need. It's not a need for it. But does that mean it's going to stop people from doing it?
Right, but I'm saying maybe if they can take cells, right, and they can create a human organ and see how it reacts to that new drug,
Yeah.
and it's not a complete human. You know what I mean? It's an organ that they've created from something else. It's not a living, breathing person. You know what I mean? They've
Yeah.
taken
Yeah.
cells, maybe it's skin cells, and like you said, they've collected for people who's wanting DNA stuff, and
So now you're
they're
talking about cloning. It sounds like you're getting into cloning.
not just cloning. I'm saying maybe they clone. I mean, they're using 3D printers
I'm listening.
to make organs for animals now and humans.
Don't tell me you think they should 3D print a human being.
I'm sure they could in the
They
future.
probably could.
In
They
the
probably
future,
could.
yeah, why not?
That's a little too
They can
scary
pretty
for
much
me.
3D print anything right now.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, unless
just
you're
the
gonna give me
material
like
that
an
they
image
use
of
to
Halle
print
Berry.
with.
Yeah, yeah, that's a little scary for me, man. I'm not ready
Yeah,
for that. You know, I'm
yeah,
not ready. I mean, like I said, unless they're gonna 3D print an image of Halle Berry, and
right.
we'll work it out. We'll work it out from there. You know,
Yeah,
you know.
that's funny.
I don't know. It is what it is. There's a lot of stuff to consider to think about, but I try to just figure out how I could be here, how I could exist as me. I don't know, man. But if you want to go to Mars out there, Rebel, I don't judge you,
I'm
man.
good. I don't want to go. I'll pass. I wish all those
Nah,
would go the best because I mean, if something should happen to this planet, maybe they do carry on human civilization, the human spirit. You know what I mean?
they said the human spirit. That's
Right.
funny.
I mean, something could happen. I mean, there's hopefully technology in the future will be able to predict like natural disasters, earthquakes, and have some kind of early warning system.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean,
days and
what do you,
hours ahead of like because volcanoes. I mean, there's like with a hurricane. You know, hey, there's hurricanes coming, or there's on the other side of the west coast they call them tsunamis. You kind of get an idea of when that's happening. Earthquakes, they usually tell you after. You know.
but what do you do? Yeah, an earthquake is natural disasters is wrong. What do you do? There's an earthquake or natural disaster on Mars. What do you
Oof.
suggest? Do we rush to Mars as quick as we can to save those people? Or are
No,
they
no, no.
done? Or are they just like, hey,
I don't know.
no?
Those greatest challenges are yet to be happen. I think if you go, you're going as a frontier did out to the west. You're accepting all liability. You know what I mean?
But what if it's a family member? Let's say for you, it's a family member or somebody that goes out that you really love. and they went to Mars and they're in trouble. What does rebel state sovereign do, even though you don't want to go there?
Oh, I have a family member there.
Yeah,
Oh, oof. I, mm,
and you're the only person that knows the technical
oh,
or scientific information to save this person. Meaning, if you do not go there, they die. What do you do?
mm.
And you know it's a suicide mission or a frontier mission. What do you do? He thinking hard.
Situation. I think the situation would have to warrant. How close is this family member to me? Is it a fifth cousin? Is it my only child? Is it my
Oh my
one of my
God.
two children?
All right, so let's make it as difficult as possible. This is your only child.
Okay.
It's your only child. And the child has colonized and you're a grandfather now. A
Woo.
grandfather from Earth to Mars. And they need your help.
I think it would be preemptive for me to answer that now. I think if the time arose and I was able to physically travel and had to travel, then I would go. But it would be foolish
Mm.
for me to even answer that because I wouldn't want to go. I mean, I may be 85 and be like, look, I can still have children here on planet Earth with other members. You know what I mean? Like there's when that time arises, then it would be the time to answer the question.
Yeah,
It'd be
that's fair.
an answer currently
That that's fair. That's fair.
because
That's fair.
I may be not in the physical shape I am now, which is not great, you know, but I am
Well,
physically.
let's say let's say you're in decent physical shape. Let's say you're only about 5 or 6 years older than you are now. You're still a
We're just
young,
doing
strapping
hypothetical.
young man. Yeah, let's say you're still a young man, right? And you have resources. You have the money, everything. What do you do? That's a difficult one.
Hmm.
And then I'll make the pot even better for you, right? You started a new life here, and you've met somebody else, but you have to choose between saving this son or this person, your first child, or just living your life and you know what, let God sort them out on Mars. What do you do?
There's a lot of variables there. Like I say, it would be foolish. Most likely, I would go. You know,
Hmm.
for my
Even if it
child.
meant even if it meant abandoning your new family.
Who knows? I mean, like I said, it would be. I have answers, but you don't want to hear those because they're just. I'm trying to give you an answer, and it's this. The answer is there really is no
Let me,
answer. But
no, no, give me your answer. It's a hypothetical situation.
all right, right now,
Let's even
let's only use future. Let's say now. My only child is
yeah.
living in space. There's a
Uh-huh.
trouble in Mars. 50-50 chance I go.
Okay, that's real. That's real. That's real.
50-50. What is the conditions? You know, how am I going to save his life? Do I have?
But
Do I?
but
Does he
but
need something
let's
from my body? Does he need?
let's
Nothing.
say you're a scientist. Let's say you're a scientist, or you know, and you know exactly how to help him, and not only him or her,
Yeah.
and the whole colony. Let's say it's a colony of 10,000 people on a new planet, and by you saving this person is a potential to save these 10,000 people because your child is in an influential position to
I would probably
help.
go.
This is now it's a world in the balance.
Now you're talking 90-10. I would go.
Yeah. So literally you would save Mars. There'll be a
If
statue soon as you hit the ground of Rebel State
no,
Sovereign.
it'd be more about if I could help save people. Period. Plural.
Plural.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd probably
Okay.
do that.
But I mean, but what happens if you had a chance to come back? Let's say you got out there, you helped out, and there was a possibility that you could come back, but there was a slim chance that you wouldn't make it back because there wasn't enough fuel. What do you do? Let's say you have a even slimmer chance of trying to come back, but it may mean your death. what do you do?
Probably still go.
Oh wow, you're just a rebel. You're just a rebel state sovereign. That's funny. I don't know, man. I'll probably send a postcard say stay up. You know, I see you at the funeral. It's time. It's time. Nah, I would say that. I would say that. That's a tough one though. It's a tough one, especially if you got another family or something like that. You created. Why would you want to jeopardize that? But some people are real like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that I would have to be put in that situation to make that to weigh all the options before I really made that decision. We're
No,
just
that's a
doing.
good answer. That's a great answer actually, because you're not trying to predispose yourself to something or think a situation. You're saying you
Yeah,
never know. You never know. Because what happens if you get out there, right? And it seems like it's a situation where you can only be the same one to help and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But they were kind of tricking you. They tricked you and you get out there and they don't really need you. So what happens then? Do you go off on them and do you cause a funeral? So it's just kind of crazy like that. I don't know. I really don't know, man. Get up there, give him a Joe Jackson type whooping. Don't you dare, you know, call me away from Tito and your brothers.
oh Lord.
No, let me stop. Oh, wow. Rest in peace, Joe Jackson. Um,
But
oh my God. People were like, what is this man talking about? Mars and Joe Jackson. You never thought I would say that in the same sentence. Oh my God. Never want to say goodbye.
what was that song you were singing the other day on your live stream?
I have no idea. I'm always be
This
singing some damn
title,
song. Huh?
that the world needs a little more love or something. Like you left the love
Oh
part
yeah,
out.
yeah, 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 yeah. I forgot the name of the group. It's a song
Yeah.
actually. What the world needs now is a little bit of love. Yeah.
Needs.
Now it's a little bit of love. Oh my
Yeah.
God, they're gonna need a lot of love on Mars. That sounds so crazy, man.
True. I mean,
Uh,
because in the beginning they're not supposed to have children. Like let's say the first 4 people who show up there are not supposed to be having children, right?
yeah,
I'm sure it may happen, but they're not supposed to because they're supposed to wait. Because I mean, we've never experienced. No, there's been no children born on Mars yet. I mean, there's no telling what risks are involved. There's enough risk on this
yeah.
planet.
What, what what do you do though if like it's a situation where they have a child on Mars and they want to try to bring it back to Earth?
We'll see. I don't know.
How would you feel about that though? Let's say, you don't know how this
Come back
child
to
is going
Earth.
to affect
A child born on Mars come back to Earth.
come back to
Awesome.
Earth. Funny, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Awesome. Because we'll have our
yeah,
first alien, real alien.
yeah. That'd be interesting. Well, let's say this child comes back and he's like superhuman, and he can catch bullets with his teeth faster than a locomotive. You know, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. I don't know. It's so many different things, I guess. When it comes to that, just
True.
I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with the future of humanity, future of human beings? Hmm. It's kind of crazy.
Mel, I
What are
don't
they
think I'm going
saying?
to end it shortly. Is there any other final words you want to add, or any other questions, or anything else?
I just say thank you for coming through. And if anything I want to add is I will die here on planet Earth. Um, I'm good. For those folks going to Mars, wish you all the best. Take care.
Is that sun? Is that the sun rising in your back window there?
It might be. It might be.
Sure enough.
It might be. It's 5:10. I'm gonna go to sleep after this though.
Yeah, I'm not too far behind you. I gotta be in the shower. It's almost 6. Be a
Yeah,
long day at work today.
I'm off today, so but it was a cool live stream. Hopefully people were entertained by this.
Yeah, I mean, we just threw out some of the possibilities. I didn't get too deep with some of those things that they're already doing. Like, it's not the future; it's now. Like it's mind blowing, crazy. Like the stuff that's actually happening right now.
Well, people are sleepwalking, so they're not gonna know. And then you don't want to scare the people off. You don't want to get too deep into it. So you
True.
know it's like, all right, let's just be light. You gotta get serious, but keep it light. Get serious, but keep it light.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, small steps, baby steps.
Guide's dad, who actually had a comment about money. I was trying to look. I was trying to find that comment earlier. I couldn't find it. He made a
Yeah.
reference, and I couldn't quote it because I couldn't find it.
Well,
I have to
that's
go back.
interesting though, because no, go ahead.
I have to go back and reread it. I can't find it now.
Well, I mean, I didn't think about what money would be on Mars and whatnot. What people. I mean, man, hopefully they're on the barter system, but what do you barter with somebody you came to planet Earth with? Would say, okay, I'm going to give you this fruit for this fruit. I'm going to sell you my wife for, I don't know, shelter. I don't know, man.
He said, as humans, we will evolve. I have to agree with that. And he said,
Into what though?
yeah, depends.
It depends. Yeah. To me, all depends is like an adult diaper. So I don't know, but I hear you.
57 Red Rooster had said that we have to buy seed now every year. Seed corn is $500, a
There you
48
go.
pound bag.
There you go. Factor that into your profits,
Hmm.
profit and loss, whatever you cost, whatever it pays. And if you don't buy it, good luck with the lawsuits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
The reason I said that because he made a comment, Guide's dad, and made a comment about the red pill. Take the red pill. He just said the red pill and reminded me of the Matrix. Wish I could find that money comment he made. Money is the
All right.
only money is
Uh-huh.
only the paradigm we are in right now. The future might be different. That's what he said.
Oh,
Money
wow.
is the only paradigm we are in right now. The future might be different. I have to agree.
They said money is the only paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an interesting prediction.
Because you brought up the well, we both kind of did.
Uh-huh.
um, 57 Red Rooster. Sorry, dang, I can't spell it. Oh, you good, Red Rooster, man. You can spell however you want. I'm cool with
Huh.
that.
That's what's up. Let it
Um,
fly. Roosters don't fly, but you get the whole thing.
right. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh,
Uh,
paradigm money. Yeah. Once we can take money out of the equation and take that greed out of the equation, that would be
yeah.
that'd be
Well, I
something.
mean, you're asking for a lot for some people that don't want to. They don't want to do that. It's people who
True.
will die for their corruption.
Oh yeah.
So, so that's why I tell people be
Country,
careful.
countries and politicians and et cetera. Anybody with power, true power.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. They're gonna find out how much true power they got on Mars until the when the electricity runs out.
Yeah. Or the water runs
Yeah.
out.
Yep. That's
The
because to
food.
me, on Mars, the most significant situation is gonna be how do they work that water situation. That's gonna be fantastic and very interesting to know.
Yeah.
And then how do they deal with the justice system out there? So think about this now. You're on another planet. You're trying to create like this makeshift jail. You got to jail the person. You got to give them room and board and water and all this stuff on another planet. When you don't
Here's
know
my
where the
thing.
resources are going to be plentiful.
They've screened all these people, right?
Yeah.
They've chosen supposedly already for Mars One. Just that company, Mars One.
Mars one.
Not
Sound like a candy bar.
right? Not Elon Musk, not his SpaceX thing. But I'm just saying Mars One has chosen they're gonna send 4 people.
Yeah.
If you've chosen these people, Why are they
Go
not
ahead.
living together now to see if they can cohabitate for a year or two on this planet or more until they're ready to go?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I
Well,
mean, if you're
this
gonna
is
find out if
true.
relations work, I'd rather do it on this planet. People live in put them in I don't know, put them in the desert, right? In
Hmm.
a biosphere, in
Yeah.
a dome, whatever it may be, you know.
Sounds like they did a movie like that already.
Yeah, I
Dumb
mean,
and
do
Dumber.
that. Put them there and see if they can last a year together, 2 years. You don't want to find out you don't like your roommate when you're on a different planet, you know. And the reason, since you brought up water and food and et cetera, the reason they don't want people to start having children at first, which may happen, is they're going to a different planet with limited resources. The
Yeah,
resources,
this is true.
the resources that they're taking with them. So exponentially, you limit your resources if you have a child while you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Well, you got
just
to
cut
bring
your
the
water,
child
your
too.
food, and everything else. You know what I mean? You
You
got to
said
wait
you
2 years
said to,
for another,
yeah.
and there's no communications really.
You got to tell the child we're going on summer vacation. We're never coming back.
Ever, ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Tell your friends goodbye.
Mhm.
You
True.
meet new friends via FaceTime. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, man.
It is crazy. Well, let's end it up. Let's wrap it up, Mel.
I'm
Thank you
still,
for
yeah, I'm
coming.
still. Yeah, not a problem. Forgive me if I'm a little swaying a little bit, whatnot.
No,
Just
you're good. You're good.
yeah. I try to be a
Oh,
trooper and whatnot.
and
What
I
happened?
appreciate you being here, friend. Really, and kicking some thoughts and ideas. I mean, I have a bunch more. We'll talk about them later, but it's
No,
just
listen, I'm around, man.
I don't know. It's some things I'm thinking about. Future wise. The future of vehicles, gas powered vehicles, electric vehicles, converting older vehicles into electric vehicles. How is that going to be better for our planet? What's it going to stress? What's the upside? What's the downside of carbon?
Yeah, nah,
Carbon dioxide on this.
I definitely would like to hear that. And also too, I throw out a call to Grim Reaper if you're out there anywhere, sir.
Yeah, I'd
Holla at
like
us.
him to come for sure.
Yeah.
I've been
I know
missing him.
you. Yeah, I miss that man too. I miss a lot of people. Thank you for a lot of people that came through. Shout out to the Dark Matters and the Big Guys and the 805 Road King. Shout out to Road King for being in
Sure.
my earlier live stream. Shout out to all the other folks in the community as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of awesome people out there, regardless of anything.
Clydesdale, Free to Be Barbie, 805, like you said.
Oh
Heck,
yeah,
all
free to be Barbie's in the chat.
57 Red Rooster came through. Yeah. She
Oh
was in the
wow!
chat.
Shout
I
out
don't
to
know. I think
Barbie.
there's
Everything.
people watching. I'm not sure. If you're still here, leave a comment.
Are you talking to me or them? Oh no, you're talking to them.
Man,
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm glad they all came through. We had a deep conversation. Forgive me, I was just a little tired tonight. I told little jokes here and there. We had a good conversation back and forth. I look forward to more. I'm gonna be around.
me too. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Melville, for showing up. You're
Yeah,
the
no,
best.
no problem. No problem. You're the best as well too.
We'll
Spread
continue
love
this
is the
conversation.
Brooklyn way. Yeah.